Everybody's much taller than me. Well, good morning, everybody. It's so great to see so many people in person. I look forward to having conversations throughout the day. I guess, first of all, you probably look at this talk and you say the title, Positioning the Industry for Success. And you're probably out there, some of you didn't get picked. We've got water challenges. We've got labor challenges. Pest and disease challenges. Cost of production is sky high. And you're like, how are we possibly going to position this industry for success? Well, the first thing you have to do is define success. What does success mean to you? As a grower, it's probably a little bit easier. Am I profitable? Am I sustainable? Can I make a living doing what I love to do? For an organization like California Citrus Mutual and other industry organizations, it's a little bit harder to define. What we do is deal in government, deal with legislators and regulators constantly. And if you know, you've been around this state long enough in this country, you know there are a lot of problems there too. And the successes and the wins are much harder to define. Our pest and disease issues, we've got HLB down in Southern California. Quarantine zones are expanding, getting closer and closer to commercial grows. The regulations are costly. The tarps, you name it, the pests or the spray and move, all kinds of regulations to ensure the ACP doesn't move. Pesticides are under attack in this state. They're being canceled. They're being further regulated. They're being run by activist groups that want to be notified every single time you do something on your own personal property. The labor situation is getting tight, and it's getting more and more costly. And new regulations are coming forward that's only going to make it more and more costly. The water availability situation is dire. I think most of you, depending on where you were, if you had some surface water, you were able to survive this year and pray for rain this coming year. But I hate to tell you, it doesn't look like it's going to be a wet year. The impacts to agriculture, the impacts to citrus, the impacts to permanent crops in California, it's going to be bad. And there's not anything in sight that is going to change this significantly in the near future. Trade. We still have a China trade problem. We're not moving as much fruit into China. That fruit is now being pushed on domestic market, other export markets, and you know, with all of the transportation issues at the ports and trucks, it's getting more costly. We're losing market access. More is being on the domestic market that is pushing prices down. At the same time, we've got imports coming in at greater volumes and greater time periods, which is putting pressure on the beginning and the end of our season, and again, hurting profitability for the growers. So you look at it as an industry organization like CCM that deals with legislature and works on industry affairs, are you being successful? Is that the definition of success? Well, I can make arguments that we've been successful. I can make arguments that we've provided a great return on investment. But frankly, it's not good enough. We've got to do more, and we've got to do better. So I can list off all the problems, but you all know them. Why do you need me? Why do you need CCM? Why do you need any industry organization to tell you what about the problems that you have? The reason why you put an organization together that's an advocacy organization is to solve problems, not to tell you about them. And we can all agree on the problems fairly easily. But what we can't agree on, what's much more difficult to agree on, is a solution set. How do you deal in California and be successful? The legislature is what it is. The population base in California is not in rural areas. It's in urban areas. The urban areas are growing. The rural areas are not. The viewpoints that are in the legislature are more and more in the direction of the big cities and less in the rural areas. So what's the answer? Well, at one point in California, ag was the predominant player in California politics. You had power. You don't anymore. We're less and less, and people are getting more and more disenfranchised with the California government. The answer isn't to walk away, though. The risk that you have in your operations is far too great. The success that you've had and the success that you want to continue to have in the future is far too important to let go. And if you walk away from it, I can guarantee you the answer. The legislature doesn't care about you. But if you walk away and you stop advocating, if you stop fighting for your industry, you will go away. I can guarantee you that. How do we work in California? Do we look for our rural representatives to carry the water, to fight for us? Do we elect more Republicans? Is that the answer? I don't know. But what I do know is we have to work better with who's there. And right now, 3/4 of the legislature is in the Democratic Party. And some of you may feel like a lot of them just want to put you out of business. I don't believe that. Vast majority of the people in the legislature don't want to put you out of business. The ones that do, they're going to try. But the vast majority just doesn't know. We had a group of Senate Democrats out a few weeks ago. Many of them voted for legislation, 616, which would have had card check legislation, which would allow UFW and unions to unionize with just signing a ballot and to harass your employees. They voted for that bill. They voted for the bill because they didn't know any better. Because some union activists told them it was the right thing and gave them their version of the story and not yours. I feel like some of them might have voted differently had they come out to agriculture and heard our story. We have to do more in that sphere, not less. Political campaigns, funding candidates to be in office. It's not easy. It's not glamorous. You probably don't like all the things that we have to do in that sphere. You may not agree with it. But ag used to be number one. We are now 14th of all the major industries in California in political legislative spending. We're still the number one or number two industry in California, but yet we are 14th in spending. The number two is prison guards. Over $7 million on legislative campaign funding in year 2020. Agriculture and forestry combined, $351,000. Energy sector, number one. Teachers, number 5. The realtors, they're so important. They're number 6 at $2.5 million a year. Now, I'm not coming here today to tell you that you need to spend more money and that I'm asking for more money. I'm just pointing out the facts. If you look at what's happening in California, the special interests, that's the game that's being played. And we're either going to play the game and play it to the level that we need to be successful, or my advice to you would be to go home. Take our losses right out the storm. But I don't believe in that. I believe in this industry. I didn't believe this industry can be successful. But we can't start by just asking for more money. I've watched the ag industry for the last 15 plus years. I've seen the way it's worked. I've seen what's been ineffective and what's been effective. Watched people that did it well, watched people who've done it bad. I can't ask you for another dollar today than what you're already doing, because I can't give you the case that you should. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to do better with what we have. And at CCM, I'm committed to doing that. We've got resources. We're reallocating our budget. We're investing more significantly with what we have in the political processes. We're being more strategic with the funds that we have, with the people who are there. to have influence over the things that are important to us. We can't do everything. If we say we're doing everything, we're doing nothing. So we're slimming down the issues that are most critical to the industry and targeting the resources there so that we can be successful. We've rebranded the organization. You might see the logo and the website, but it's not just about that. It's how we do business. Today it's much more detailed and technical. You have to have technical expertise, you need to have scientific expertise, you need to have legal expertise, you need to have lobbying expertise, you need to have communications expertise. We're being more strategic with the resources that we have. I've also seen changes within the industry before. When I was in the cotton industry, which was the #1 commodity in California, shrink to a skeleton of itself. And as I watched that happen, I watched people go away, I watched people diversify, I saw the impacts of global competition, people that can produce more, better quality in other parts of the country and the world with lower cost of production. We're seeing the same thing in the citrus industry right now. We have competition foreign. They're stepping up their game, they're providing better quality fruit, they're bringing it in at different times of the year. It's impacting us. What are we going to do about it? We've got to get better. The people who survived in the cotton industry when I was there, the ones that are still around today, they grow the highest quality anywhere in the world. And they do it with high yielding. We have to do that here. If you're not growing the best variety, if you're not doing it the best you can, if you're not communicating with your packing house and your marketer about what it takes to be successful, if you're not communicating what it means to be profitable in your operation to your packing house and your marketer so that they can give you good advice on what you should be growing or whether you should take that out, you need to develop a strategy with your packing houses and with your marketers. If we're not evolving, if we're not changing, we're going to be stagnant, and if you're stagnant, you're going away. So all of us, you can't look to CCM to solve all your problems, though that's where a lot of problems go. You can't look to Citrus Research Board to solve all your problems and just walk away. You can't look for CCQC to solve all your problems. It's the collective industry, all of us doing our part, knowing what we've got to do, knowing what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are, and doing better. And that is what's going to lead to success in the future for this industry. Again, I believe in this industry. When I look at commodities across California, when I look at the pressures that are facing you, I think citrus has a great future in front of it. You can only grow citrus in certain parts. We have the greatest climate, I think, anywhere in the world. We've got location to ports. We have a commodity that is desired and is an icon here in California. We've got to capture that. We've got to improve on it. And if we do all that and we do it together, I believe we can be very successful. So thank you very much. Look forward to the rest of the conference. I look forward to hearing all of your opinions on this matter. And just want to commit to everybody in the room. You have a partner with California Citrus Mutual to work on your toughest challenges. We may not agree on everything, but we're all passionate and striving in the same direction. Thank you very much.